All right. What's up, Ega? How are you, buddy? How's everyone doing this Saturday evening? What's going on, Nez Lover? Guardian, how are you? Hey, Joe, how are you? Charlie Knight? Truth Quest, how are you? MS? Nicole Clark, Mark Roberts. Steve, how are you doing? Caden? Dis, Susan. Kevin, how are you? What's up, RH? Marge, how are you this evening? Sheridan? Glad you could make it from Australia. What's up, Dylan? Bart, Spirit Level 333. Wow, we got a lot of Aussies here. Or Aussies. How do you say it? Aussies? Aussies? Aussies, probably. First time I remember. What's up, Mike Lyle? Troy, how are you? Nikola Tesla's in the house. Get comfortable. Crazy Backyard Chicken Man. That's a wonderful name. That's sick. What's up, Teresa? Juno, how are you? Cindy. Suji's in the house. Shreveport, Louisiana. Nice. What's up, UK man? Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that book, Joe. I'm so happy too. Did you check it out? Is it pretty cool? Yeah, I heard about Scott Carpenter passing away. Whoever wrote, I looked it up, and there was an obituary, and they confused. I'm not laughing at the fact that someone passed away, but they confused his obituary or things that another guy named Scott Carpenter did with him. And I was like, what the heck? Micro Dork, Lionhawk. Greetings from Earth. Yeah, I don't know, crazy backyard chicken man. I don't know him. Not really familiar with him. I know a little bit of his work, but hopefully he didn't. But I'm not sure. Monty, how are you? But if he did, that's once again another researcher that passed away very unexpectedly, and it's kind of weird because I think he did like a live stream or something with some other channel a couple days ago, which kind of freaked me out too. What's up, Nestor? Steve, where else are they going to put him? That's pretty much that's the best answer I got for you, brother. How are you, Maurice? Does Heifer, any of the old information on Victor is old? I'm writing the book. I've said it numerous times. I decided to rewrite it and put it out as fiction. Charlie Knight, yeah, he does. Bigfoot and Dogman stuff. I'm not familiar with him. I know the name. That's it. Brown Snake, thank you for the card for my dad. I appreciate that. Really do. Jordy, how are you? Jake Paul versus Jeff Nadolny. Jake Paul's fighting my man Nate Diaz tonight. You ever see Nate Diaz flex his muscles? He's like, he flexes so weird. I'm doing well, thank you, Sherry. This is what I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit about real quick. I hope Nate smashes the heck out of him, man. I really do. I spoke to Victor last weekend for a little bit. And we're going to be probably doing something here in the next few days. Actually, I spoke to him last Sunday, to be honest with you. So really quick, I got in a funk. I just want to clear something up really quick. And I know you guys will understand because you guys are the real ones. Anybody on the live stream, a lot of you guys, I mean, you're all real to me, but I saw in a few comments, people are like, you're reposting things. And I got in a funk because of my health and my dad, like really depressed. And I just didn't want to not put anything out so the channel would kind of implode on itself. But some guy was just like really ranking on me about it. And this week I couldn't even get out of my own headspace. I still haven't gotten any information on my biopsy yet. It's been 10 days today. And my dad's going to have another 2 surgeries. So I was just really in bad headspace, but I'm trying to get out of it. I think I did. And then of course, like everything besides the health issues and stuff just went bad. Like I bought a washer and dryer in April and my dryer shit the bed, but it wasn't the dryer, it was the wiring. And then we plugged it back in, blew my dryer apart, got another dryer at Lowe's, got it hooked up to tonight, and it got like, it almost started a fire in the house. And I never lash out at people, and I freaking lashed out at this. Like, this was ridiculous. So I called Lowe's and I'm like, hey, I need to speak to a manager. And this girl answers, and you can tell she was not a manager. She's like, I'm a manager. What's this about? And I'm like, oh, what's your name? And she's like, Jess. And I'm like, well, Jess, I just bought a dryer. I go, because the one that I bought in April died. I'm like, and it almost started fire. And she goes, oh, I'll transfer you. So first of all, right there, boom, I'm in a bad mood. So then this guy, manager, gets on the phone, and he sounds like he's 15. And he's like, what seems to be the problem, sir? And I'm like, well, I just bought a dryer and it almost started a fire. And he goes, what do you mean? And I'm like, what didn't you understand? It almost started a fire. And he goes, if you're going to be condescending, I can't talk to you. And I'm like, but I got in a better space here with you guys. So I'm happy. What's up, Rochelle? How are you? Thanks, Rochelle. I appreciate that. God bless you. I agree, Terry P. I agree 100%. Stephen Jacob, how are you? 100%, Terry P. I agree. Hey, Tracy. So I got some really cool encounters to share tonight. I'm stoked about these encounters because they're actually really good. We got 160 people and 50 likes. Let's hit that like button, guys. Let's get those numbers up. I'm just kidding. Got to sound like a YouTuber, right? I don't know, you guys. I know a lot of you guys listen to the same kind of music I listen to. You guys listen to the Deftones. Have you heard this band called Crosses? It's the lead singer of Deftones, Chino, his kind of side band, and they're coming out with a new album. Whoa, awesome, awesome! I'm looking forward to that. What's up, Nino? You sexy mf'er? Don't drop. There goes the phone. All right. So, yeah, I know. I don't know where Jane is. She'll probably join us soon. I'll probably text her in a little bit. I know her nephew's sick, so I didn't really want to bother her. Wait out. Marge, thank you for joining us for a little bit. Mr. Rollins, Crosses, like it's Crosses, no hyphen or no apostrophe, excuse me. Really good band. James Estrada, how are you? Yeah, that was one of the better albums. You're absolutely right, James. Superwoman, how are you? All right, so I guess we'll start the evening with cheers to Chow. How are you doing? So we'll start the evening with a pretty decent encounter out of, let me cross my legs here. This is out of Ontario County, New York. So I believe it was 2005. I was driving around at approximately 12:30 in the morning with three of my friends in my car. We stopped so my friend and I could relieve ourselves off of Canandaigua Road down a dirt drive. I knew the drive was there, having seen it many times in the day. It was just a place where the town of Farmington, New York, would dump their old asphalt. I was on the driver's side of the car, my friend on the passenger, and both of us are looking in opposite directions. I saw something on the top of a small hill, maybe 50 feet in front of me. I thought it was a tree initially, but it turned and started moving from my left to my right. It was very tall, at least 8 feet, maybe 10. Extremely long arms that stretched down to its knees. It was a whitish gray and somewhat of a small head. The words that came to me were, WTF is that? But before I could utter those words, my friend said the same. I turned to get back into the car, which I left running with the headlights off, and I saw another one in the direction he was facing. It was absolutely terrifying, and if I had a gun with me, I wouldn't have done anything. But what I did was drive away as fast as possible. The other people in the car caught a glimpse of these creatures, but not as well as my friend and I. Initially, I could only assume that they were aliens, but they did not look like a monkey or a Bigfoot or anything like that. They didn't have any hair. They were skinny and very scary looking. I assumed they were very dangerous, and of all the time I have spent outdoors in the woods and in the rural mountainous areas, I've never seen anything like that. After that, I hadn't seen my friend in several years as we lost contact with each other. I ran into him at a gas station about 8 years later, and the first thing he said to me was, Hey, do you remember those things we saw in the middle of nowhere? The memory that he had was the same as mine, and upon seeing me, that was the first thing that popped into his head. Recently, I spoke to a friend of mine who had a lot of interest in the supernatural and paranormal. I told her the story, and she suggested possibly crawlers. Hey, Kelly Lewis, how are you? Yeah, Scott Carpenter passed away. Well, I mean, I don't know because I've only seen it briefly on a couple of things. But I looked up the obituary, and the information in his obituary wasn't his, so it was kind of weird. I don't know. It was tonight sometime. How are you, two-way? Rose, how are you? Yeah, then that's even crazier, because Nicola, because you know, like Claudia and numerous other researchers, which I've said 100 different times, all these researchers are just, you know, very quickly passing away. And that's very strange. Very strange. Rose, no, I've never seen a crawler. And I honestly hope I never do, to be honest with you. What's up, Lucifer Jesus? How are you? Rockin' Reef Sully. Yes, I did, Tracy. Yes. Israel, how are you? Jen Ray in the house. Pamela, how are you? What's up, Jeff? Hey, Lily. Yeah, Scott. I guess I don't really know. So Sully, what a crawler is. Pretty much what the creepy pasta the rake creature is. Hey Anna, how are you? The pale white creature, hairless, um, and very, very skinny, very gross looking. But rake is a creepy pasta, and so I just call them crawlers. Very similar, Teresa. Very similar. What's shaking, Frank G? Donna Jarvie, thank you so much. Alligator horse, same. It was his picture. It was just different information. His picture, different information. So Nikola Tesla said he died of a brain aneurysm, which I've had a friend that died of a brain aneurysm, and he actually survived one. When he was 18, he survived one, and then had one, which it's a miracle that he did. He was hospitalized for a very long time, and he wasn't right in the head after. He was really strange. Um, and then he had another one hunting and passed away in the woods. Steven, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Yeah, RH, totally. My buddy had a brain aneurysm and he was not the same. He was probably one of the most caringest people that I ever met in my life. And then after his brain aneurysm, it was like a switch was snapped and he was fucking mean. Like he just did some crazy stuff. Yeah, no one's debating that, does there? I mean, it's sad, but it's sucks. Wow, Susan, that's crazy. Congratulations for surviving, though. Yeah, my buddy had it, and then literally 20 years later, he was hunting, which he loved doing. So I'm sad that he passed away, but I'm glad that he passed away doing something that he loved because he was out hunting, and I guess he was with his nephew and his brother, and they found him kind of propped against a tree. No, I didn't see what OG Kush wrote. Let me try to find it quick. I'm not going to go too far up because I don't want to miss anything. What if bringing light to a Dogman location potentially disrupts secret indigenous area? Wondering optimistically, absolutely, please do. You know, I saw that there was a Dogman story or not story experience that I heard from Maine. Mr. Shackleneck, thank you so much, my brother. I did not receive your letter. No, I didn't receive your letter. An email, no. Here, I'm gonna put my email address in again because I would recognize you 100%. Hang on 1 second. I really didn't receive a letter from you, brother. The only thing that I've gotten lately from subscriber was Bron Snake sent my dad a get well card, which was freaking amazing. My dad really enjoyed it. He's like, why did they send me something? They don't know me. And I'm like, they know me. So here's Mr. Shackelford. Here you go. Oh shit. So check this out. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. So remember how I told you that did you guys see my eyes? Remember how I told you that there was that SUV that parked thank you, Desert Fairy Chick. Stay well. Thank you for joining us tonight. So remember how I told you that freaking the white SUV was parked out in front of my house for a while, right? And then just drove away. And dude, Wednesday night, I take my daughter and I will go driving, right? I take her, she's 15. I take her to an industrial park at like 4:30, and I want her to drive or I want her to practice on how to drive because I don't think it's right sending kids 16 years old just, here, drive. So I'm like, here, get used to the steering wheel, get used to this, get used to that. And it's just something to do with my daughter, But we were driving there and there was this van. There was a van like riding my ass, right? And we're going through this town called Hudson Falls. And to get to our area where we drive, we've got to kind of go down by the river and then up through. So and it's kind of rural. So he's riding my ass tight. And I have a Subaru Forester Sport. It's kind of quick. It's not fast. It's quick. So I just punched it really quick and shot up and then pulled over. And he'd have to pass me, right? I mean, if he was being inconspicuous, he'd have to pass me. So he passes me. I don't know if you guys can see the license plate. Can you guys see it? It's a U.S. government plate. I don't know how to get could you guys see it or no? So I fucking matted my car. He went by and So I'm like, I have my phone on my dash, like I have that dash thing, and I clicked it, and I caught it. What I'll do is I'll put it in the community post section. I'll try this one more time. Let me try to dull the color or dull the there. Maybe I don't know. How about now? Nothing now? Well, I can't take a screenshot and share it. I'd have to put it in the community post, Brennan. Donna, that is a Mobile, Alabama flag, the home of the real Mardi Gras, I guess. What I'll do is I'll take a picture and I'll put it in there for you. But I was like, what? Joseph caught it. Yes, you did. Dude, it was like, what the hell, man? Lisa. That's kind of weird because some people can see it and some people can't. All right, cool. But I will in the community post, if you guys go there, I'll put it in there so you guys can see it. Jeff, do you believe werewolves, Dogman feed on fear? Consciously, how smart are they? I think they get off on that. I think they get off on knowing that we're afraid, and I think they're very intelligent. Sean, thank you so much, my brother. Appreciate that. Dude, it did. I'm driving and I didn't see it was a government plate. I just thought it was some asshole, right? And so my daughter is, hey Lori, how are you? My daughter's, in the passenger side, and we punch it. And I look and I'm like, at first I thought it was like Ontario because it was a weird color. And I'm like, is that Ontario? And my daughter goes, that says government. And I'm like, take a picture of it. And I'm not thinking that my phone is right, set in my dash. So I did it and she did it too. And it was just perfect. I was like, yes. Mike, happy anniversary. Mike Lyle, 13 years. Happy anniversary. That's a great thing. A lot of people don't stay married for long. It's a sacred thing, man. Congratulations. RH, and back to, yes, please do, Mr. Shackleneck. Back to the fear thing. Here's another thing that I think they get off like, all right, so some people they'll urinate themselves when they get scared. And the Dogman, I've heard of people like when somebody, pisses their pants, the Dogman will look down and kind of do that kind of dog smile. And I think they do. I think they really get off on just being an asshole. So, Dale, how are you? I didn't say hi to you. I must have missed you, brother. I'm going to be getting a hold of you this weekend or this week coming up to get you on the show. Squatching Mountain Mama, how are you? Yes, I'm going to be safe. Absolutely. Robert Sharp, how are you? Hippie girl, how are you? Hippie gypsy girl. That's what they said about demons. They like fear. Yeah. Yeah, I think they just, I think there are some that maybe physical and maybe demonic or whatever, but I think they do like it. I don't know if you guys remember. I got to remember his alias that we used. Shit. I think it was Robert, but he was in North Carolina. He was a retired sheriff, and he was really older. You could hear the age in his voice. His ex-wife ended up committing suicide, because they had a Dogman experience together and she couldn't take it. But he was so embarrassed that he pissed his pants, and the Dogman that was staring at him in front of him smiled, and it made it so much worse for him. And it was just terrible. What's up, Rob Santiago? How are you? Hey, Rita. Randy Man, what's going on? What's going on, Bob P? Andy Davis is in the house. Sammy A. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? OG hash. That's the kind of stuff you don't admit, alligator. OG, can you repeat the question that I missed, please? I'm sorry. Christopher, how are you? Hey, Jeff, happy Saturday. How about the darn storm? Dude, the storms are crazy, right? 2 days ago, we had this storm. It was literally 16 hours of thunder. And I was laying in bed, getting ready to fall asleep. And, thunder sounds like thunder, but this sounded like someone dropped a friggin' bomb. So much that I jumped out of bed and looked. Like, I looked outside. I was like, what the hell? Melody, how are you? Yes, it was like, bam! Like, Giant Slayer, how are you doing? Catherine. Yeah, it is. It's the Atlantic current. I do believe, and I think that's why it was so long, 16 hours, because I'm like right on the Atlantic coast. OG said his girlfriend was killed by the government. God dang. I'm sorry, my brother. Can you email me and share some details if you choose to? If not, understandable. Do Dogman live along? About 50 years from what I've heard. Oh, okay. Dang. Jeff, you just ignoring my emails? I'm not ignoring any emails, John. Maximus Christian. Like I said, John, I've been out of it. I've been really depressed for a week and a half. I said it in the beginning of the upload, and that's why I've just felt like real bad. I hear you, Terry Pete. But I'm definitely not ignoring anybody. Recommendations on shotgun. I have a Caltech. I like it because it's small and it's lightweight. It's the KS7 or whatever it is, and it's a very nice shotty. It does its job. And you can also, if it's got too much recoil for you, you can get more pads to cushion the blow. Yeah, I don't ignore anybody. Like, I really don't. There's times that I don't catch emails, and sometimes I don't get them. For a lot of times, I don't know. There's been people that have told me they've tried to send me emails, and they're like, they can't send it for some reason. Oh, okay, John W. Yes, I did get the sketch. I did. Jeff, did you ever look at the... No, Stephen, I have not, but I will look at that tonight, now that you mention it again. Mossberg 500. My first gun here's something for all you guys who know about firearms. I was 9 years old when I shot my first like real man's rifle. Obviously, I had shot in 22s. But my dad's friend's son, who was like 17 at the time, we were down at the farm shooting, and he had his dad's 300 Savage, and he's like, Jeff, shoot this gun. And I ended up at 9 years old, I shot a 300 Savage. I thought my whole body broke, and I was a microscopic little person at 9. It was hilarious. I'll never forget it either. The recoil, like it was just this powerhouse. Donna, yeah, it really got me. It's just with the health crap and everything. And I just had labs done 4 days ago, and my levels aren't changing. They're actually going up. So how is Victor? Victor is well. I talked to him last Sunday. Yeah, 300 Savages are a great gun, Deer Slayer. .458 Win Mag. It did not it knocked my shoulder out of place, I can tell you that. Yeah, I'm going to be going up in the next couple of days with just reading real quick. I'm going to be going up in the next couple of days with the trail cams. I had to read about how to set them up and everything, and I wanted to make sure that I did it right. That way I just didn't go, put them up, come back, and because it's a 45-minute drive. And George, I get I get like 500 emails a day, to be honest. Lily, thank you so much. Thank you. The screenshot, was it of me while I was up in Brant Lake where Tom Mesick disappeared? If not, can you? I get so many emails, and I'm not being rude. Like, what's up, Cowboy 5 Rings? No, I'm sorry. Give me a hint really quick, Lily, please. Hey, Lori. Yes. Okay. Yes, I did. Okay. Tell us about the trail cams. Calm down, John. So I wanted to make sure that I knew how to use them properly. So when I go up there, I set them up properly. And when I put them up, I don't want to have to go back 3 or 4 times. So yeah, I'd love to go to Australia as well. All right, here we go. So last week I did a Amish encounter. I got another Amish near Strasburg, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, August 1978. Afternoon. 3 Amish men were working in their field when a strange-looking man approached them from the neighboring farm. The man was yelling and jumping about. The Amish men were alarmed and noticed that this man had arms and legs and a face that seemed different, more animal than human. He had coarse, dark hair on his limbs and face. As man-creature approached closer, it yelled something, but it was not understood. The men ran towards their home, and the man-creature was behind them. One of the Amish men ducked into the dairy barn, and the other 2 immediately entered the home. An elderly Amish woman who had been in her garden came to see what was going on. When this man creature saw her, it stopped running, sat down on the grass, and stared at the sky. The men came out of the house, and the one slowly walked over to this man creature and attempted to talk to it. The man creature continued to look at the sky and muttered. The men and women noticed that the horrible stench permeated from the creature, describing as rotten flesh. After several minutes, the creature got to its feet and walked toward the dairy barn. As it did, witnesses noticed the creature was fading away. Eventually, it vanished from view just before reaching the barn. Shocked, the Amish witness dropped to their knees, not knowing what they had witnessed. This account was communicated by one of the witnesses to a non-Amish friend who periodically purchased produce from them. Kind of strange. Like it kind of like maybe it went into a portal or whatever. Terry P, I would love to find a Amish person who was accepting of me, or the English us. Jane, how are you? There's my Jane. Hey, RC, how are you? Rochelle, the best kind of firearm, if you can get a pistol wherever you are, it depends on money, but I mean, I would go with a 9mm and get Fort Scott Munitions TUI. And honestly, I swear by that round. RC, I'm glad you joined us. Jane, I'm glad you joined us. Well, Dale, she's a single, a woman, and I'm not saying, she can't handle a 357, but a 9mm, I think, would be best for a woman to handle, especially with the TUI. Yeah. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I just want to sit down and be like, hey, I'm very respectful of your religion and your ways. I understand that you can't probably share a lot with me, but I'd love to just, I didn't know Amish were scared of dolls. That's kind of weird. Yeah, the TUI is a nasty round. Hey, Jackson, how are you? Yeah, Libra Poet's not in here tonight. .45 is a good round, too. No problem, Rochelle. The way I look at firearms, and this is just me, okay? I'm practical. If the world is the way the world is right now, it's shit. Bottom line. But if the world just ceases one day and it's like Walking Dead minus the zombies, or throw the zombies in. That'll be kind of cool. But let's say everything just kind of goes to shit. I'm going to want to have my firearms that if I have to go scouting and scouring and looking for, firearm or, pistols or rounds, excuse me, I'm going to get what I have. Like, so 9mm, 223, 5.56, 12 gauge, 308, 45. I do have a 4.58 SOCOM, but that's not a practical round because not a lot of people have them. So I'm just saying if I have to go to different houses and look, I also, what I did was, I have the PC carbine, the Ruger PC carbine. I purposely got that because it takes Glock mags and the Ruger Security 9 mags, so they're interchangeable. So I'm kind of always thinking like, what if, 22. 22 is a perfect gun to have if the world goes to shit. That way you can pretty much shoot small game and not be heard. No, Kevin, nothing. Did I miss something? Lakota, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you. Derek Crowley, what's going on? Canic 9, Destiny, great gun. Taurus, great gun. The Taurus, I remember went to a gun shop with my grandpa who had very small hands, and he has an arsenal, or had an arsenal, but he wanted a Taurus because it fit in his hand perfectly, you know. A lot of people I think it's preference. I like the Ruger Security 9. I like the Canic 9. Canic 9 is fucking awesome. I don't mind the Security 9 by Ruger too. I think it's a great pistol. Kevin, yeah. Yep. Jeff, do you think Bigfoot and Dogman can eat crabs? If they have small enough fingers to pick them from their genital region, probably. No, I'm just kidding. More than likely, yeah. I mean, I've heard of a Dogman eating a turtle out of a pond in front of a kid. Well, Jeff, I got to go back to work. Lily, have a great night, and thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. Haha, Tracy got it. Most powerful rifle, 1927. Wow. Which doesn't make sense because tiny on. The Canic's a great pistol anyway. I mean, Canic's great. The elephant rifle. Yeah, I think that's what Alligator was talking about. Are Dogman being created by the government? If so, no. No, they're being harnessed by the government from what I know. They're not created. They have been they were here well before the government was here, Steve. So they are tracked and chipped by the government. I think crawlers are created by the government. Randy Man, have a great night. Thank you for joining us, brother. Catherine, the owls. I don't know the significance between the two, but I do know that there is a connection for some reason. Wolf Moose Bear, that's a nice rifle then. If I miss anybody in, thank you, his invisibleness. If I miss anybody in the chat, it's going fast right now, so I apologize. Terry P, I agree 100%. I totally think they were created by the government in dumbs, as kind of like a protector, a bodyguard. So, like you said, Jeff, these creatures like dog, Bigfoot have been shot and killed, or heard of crawlers being shot and killed before. No, Barry Son, no, I haven't, but I imagine they have been. I imagine they have been. Quite possibly, Robert. Yeah. Michael Sanchez, greetings and salutations, brother. Back to the owl thing. I know, Ronald Murphy Jr. had a Dogman encounter in the woods. He's a researcher. You don't hear much about him too much anymore, but he had a Dogman encounter, and there was an owl that was hooting while he was there. Absolutely, John W. If it does bleed, you can kill it. Absolutely. I've not tried it, but blue theater light gel or infrared trail. Pegging your camera. No shit. I'll have to look into that, Mr. Shackle. I'm just going to call you Neck from now on. All right. What's up, Jimmy? I think we've heard crawler stories were shot. I was looking at property the other night. There's some super sweet property in Meeker, Colorado for sale. Wonder why? Absolutely, Susie. Absolutely. Wonder why. Wolfsong, how are you? Here we go. Let's jump into another encounter. This is coming from Michigan. I was on my golf cart by myself. It was completely dark outside and quiet. I live in a neighborhood surrounded by farmland in rural Michigan. The woods threw out various spots. I was driving, but pulled over because of a giant beetle on my shirt. It pinched me and I freaked out. I pulled over next to a stretch of woods and struggled to get it off of me. In the woods nearby, I heard walking, like perhaps a deer walking around, so I wasn't scared. Yet, the sounds were getting louder and closer. The walking had gotten so loud it sounded unreal, something out of Jurassic Park, almost like a dinosaur stomping. The walking had gotten overwhelmingly loud and extremely close. I slammed on the gas and hurried out of there. I looked behind, but I couldn't see anything. I felt shivers down my spine, and I swear it was inches behind me. Not sure if this has anything to do with it, but I was talking about cryptids with my sister and doing some research. So I hope I didn't invite anything to me. But I can't even describe how loud the stomping was. It sounded unreal and seriously terrifying. I wasn't too sure what it could have been. Some people said maybe Bigfoot or Dogman. And I do believe this thing had to have been at least 15 feet to be stomping that loud. That reminds me of that story that lady, a husband and wife, shared with me and you guys about it, something stomping through their woods, and it sounded like an elephant. Yeah, Jane, Scott Carpenter passed away. Yep, we had talked about that probably for the first 20 minutes of the upload, but you weren't here. If creatures were created to be used in Vietnam. Well, Steve, per Victor, they weren't created. They were chipped. Dogmen were chipped and let go in Vietnam. Melody, that he did pass away. And like I said in the beginning of the upload, the obituary was wrong. That Scott Carpenter um, passed away in 2013, the astronaut. He did pass away because I looked it up on someone's Facebook page that was friends with him. Larry, how are you? Thanks, buddy. A little better. I had a really bad week of depression though this week, which was just it really kicked my ass. Is it possible that a lot of attacks could be caused by cryptids that got rabies? Um, 9 to 9, damn, Larry. I don't know, to be honest with you. I think they like to just, I mean, I don't know. Could be. Hey, Spanner, I hope you're having a great night. Thank you for joining us. MS, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, so that, like I said in the beginning, if you look it up, there's, I forget which website it was on, but I typed in Scott Carpenter, and for some reason it came up Tennessee, but he lived in Kentucky, I believe. But it was his face, and then there was the obit for the Scott Carpenter who was on the Aurora 7 back in the 60s, which was weird. But I mean, we're talking one day, so I'm sure more news will come out as it goes. Yeah, me too, MS. Me too. I still have the crazy. I still have that weird stuff out of Meeker, Colorado, that to me looks like tiny, tiny porcupine quills, but it's hair. As a cop, my first issue was a 6 revolver and the breaded 92s. My last. Isn't that what they use now completely, Alligator? Is the Glock 22? Or no? And it's chambered what, in 45, I think? Yeah, Andy, definitely not. Hey, Inquisitive, how are you? Well, I'm glad you're here with us, and hopefully you can get a couple of minutes out of your depression. His passed away. I looked on one of his friends' website or Facebook pages, and he did pass away. Anna, yeah, it does. Like I feel better when I started the live stream. I felt better right when I started it. Like I just started feeling better. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Glocks. I do believe they're, an excellent firearm. But they're kind of I don't know. I'm not too many people like them for the wrong reasons, I guess. They do the job. They're a tool. It does its job properly. No, I'm not going to check out a high point. I don't like high points. High points are shit. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Guys, am I cutting out on any of you? No. Yeah, exactly, Andy. They do. They all right. So I don't know if you guys, Andy, you might remember my granddad had the high point um rifle pistol. They had the magazine in the handle or the in the in the grip, but they were like that long. They were very small and weird looking. Lightweight. They did. It's a tool, A firearm is a tool. And I think people forget that it's just a tool. There's no reason to spend thousands of dollars on something that's going to do the same thing. That's why the Ruger Security 9 to me is a great firearm. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just not a fan of them. Well, Dogman, you came in. You need, I mean, you live in England, so you don't have firearms over there. But it's pretty good to have one with you when you're in the woods. Yeah, but isn't it a pain in the ass to get them? RH. It's a big pain in the ass to get them, right? Comic Chase, absolutely. Yep. I've done a couple of shows about the place. Yes, sir. Desi XI. Kimberly, have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us. If you guys are losing signal, it might be because of storms and stuff, but it's not on my end because I have great Wi-Fi right now. Thank you, Kevin Dwyer. I appreciate that. Yeah, old Desi X1, old stinker. Cord stacker. That's what I always thought. I always thought they were like not a good handle, Jeff. I have 22-inch neck. Fun buying shirts. God damn, neck. Holy shit. Dude, neck, your neck is as big as my waist was like 4 years ago when I was sick, brother. Well, I'm sick now, but I've gained weight since, you know what I mean? Holy shit. DL Hemingway, you are not late. You are here, and honestly, that's all that matters, and I'm glad that you're here. Neck's neck is as big as Hulk Hogan's biceps, baby. 24-inch pythons. Hey, Rhonda. So anyway, I still can't get over how crazy that government van was, man. It freaked me out so much. Victor recommended just carry. He didn't recommend like a specific firearm. He recommended making sure you had some sort of protection with you. Can Dogman be tracked by search and rescue dogs? I'm not sure, Steve. Maybe not, because I had a Virginia search and rescue guy share an experience, and the dogs did not catch the scent of it. Truth Quest, more than likely. I know I pissed them off when I was doing the County, Tennessee stuff. They did not like that. Drew Blue, I'm feeling a little better. I just really depressed last week. That's about it, my friend. Just having a hard time with everything. That's crazy, UK man. Guardian, absolutely, 100%. I told the story. You probably didn't hear it, but I take my daughter driving, and there was a van riding my ass. So I punched it, pulled over, and when he went around me, because he had to go around me because it would look really strange if he just stopped. And we pulled up behind him. My daughter took a picture of the plate, and I took a picture of the plate, and it was really crazy. What's up, Jim? How are you? Orbus Stargate. That's I've read that. I've read that actually a while ago. That yes. Jane, I'll send you the picture of the van that was behind me, but I'll put it in the comment or the community post later tonight when we get done with this, so you guys can check it out. I wish there was a way of sharing it with you guys, so you guys could see it. So I just sent it to you, Jane, so you could check it out. Just magnify the license plate. It was crazy. I have 3 6-foot battle ass spears. Oof. What or who is snatching people in the? That would be cool, Dogman. UK man, you're right. Steve, to be honest with you, nobody really knows what is snatching people on the 411s. I know for a long time, cryptids were the supposed culprit. Now UFO. It could be the government. Like back in Dulce time when they were stealing or kidnapping people. You know. Turn the phone. Yeah, maybe I'll try that, Squatch. Here, we'll try that again. But I'm still gonna put it in the so you guys can see it. So there it is again. I think the light is what's killing it. I don't know if you guys can see it. Maybe that way. I don't know. Oh, there we go. There we go. Can you guys see it any better? Yeah, Charlie, we talked about that for a while. Yes. I don't know why my screen went dark all of a sudden. What the hell? That's weird. No, it's a government license plate, OG. Yeah, Mike Russell. Politis does look, you know, he's the one that brought it to our attention. David Politis brought the missing 411 to our attention. It was an amazing, an amazing attribute to bring it to our attention. But I mean, he has different theories. It could be alien life forms. It could be portals. It could be the government. It could be cryptids. I really don't know. And I don't have. I mean, I have certain opinions on what it is, especially with Tom Mezek. I'm now starting to think that Tom Mezek something. Okay, here's where I'm at with Mezek. Okay, so he had a gun, he had a hat, he had a walkie-talkie. He was sitting. They searched 5 square miles, but they never found a thing on him. So why didn't they find anything on him or a piece of it? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mr. Rollins. Yes. Chris, it says U.S. government. It's a U.S. government plate. Rose, yes, I do. Sometimes I do think that. Stephen Jacob, thank you for joining us. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad. I'm going to check that out. Penny McPhee, thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. All right, so we did that encounter. Uh, Jeff, was there any granite in the? Actually, the Adirondacks is full of granite, full of it. Yes. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you, Liz? Yeah, I'm not thinking though. I'm with Tom. I'm not thinking it was a cryptid because if a cryptid, Jane, holy shit! Thank you, Jane. Thank you so much. I love you, Jane. You know I love you. Um, I don't think. Okay, really quick. This is why I don't think it was a cryptid because if a cryptid grabbed somebody, right? Let's say you're in the woods, you're sitting, you've got your cap on, you've got your rifle, a walkie, you got your stuff, and it grabs him and it takes him, right? Something would fall off. Some sort of evidence would fall off, just something, you know? And I don't see a dogman or a Bigfoot or a crawler being capable or smart enough to go back and clean up after itself. And that's why. Lizzo hate Tom Mezek. Oh shit. Larry. I don't think it was UFOs because it was I honestly don't think that UFOs have anything to do with the missing 411. That's my own personal advice or my own personal opinion. I think that it's something completely different than we even can fucking make sense of, you know? That's just my own opinion, though. But I think, we all have our own opinion, and that's the best part about this. Mr. Rollins, who said they're supposed to be way smarter than people? I don't think they're way smarter than people. And yes, Sonia, maybe that's why and maybe that's why the FBI was there. Because anybody that I ever interviewed, my uncle for one, state troopers, and this and that, um, no one can say why the FBI was there, and maybe they were there for containment or cleanup. I've never really heard Bigfoot being smarter than humans. I think they're smart. I mean, but that's like saying a chimpanzee is smarter than a human. That's in my opinion. My opinion, once again. At Corey Godsey's, it was the Department of Homeland Security. Caden, you look out your window. I had someone. Ooh, that sucks. You know what's crazy is, and I just thought of this when someone asked the FBI or DHS. Remember the guy from Pennsylvania or Delaware that was in Pennsylvania when he shot the Dogman and the government plates pulled into his driveway. What's up, Nick? How are you from Texas? Nick from Texas is in the house. Donna Harmon, thank you so much. God bless you. Brett, I know some humans that are inferior to gerbils, my friend. Ha ha. What's up, John Simpson? I had this is hilarious. So today, my oldest daughter just got her first, well, not her first job, but her first kind of real job. And she's chambermaiding at a hotel. And I went to pick her up, and these people were blocking 2 lanes of traffic like this. So the 2 lanes are right here, and they're parked like this because they didn't pull out or whatever far enough. And the light turned green, right? And I'm in the turning lane, and they didn't move. So I beeped. I'm like, beep, beep. Nothing major. I pull up, and the guy, and they're in $100,000 fucking Audi SUV, right? The guy is flipping me the bird, and the dude's wife, with her big fat naughty fingers, is flipping me the bird too. And I'm like, what the? I fucking lost my marbles, dude. And then little Belle, my little buddy, my baby, she's like, Bert. My 15-year-old just Bert. Little buddy. Suji, that's what they call it at the hotel that she works at. It's a called the Queensberry, and it's been in business since the 1800s. I know, Jane. She protects me like crazy. She is my bud. Please pull your shade so I can look out your window. There you go. My kids are awesome. I love my kids. Stalker. Stalker. It was just so funny. She's like her little finger. Burp. Is the hotel haunted? Maybe. Maybe, Naroshi. No, there's definitely no Dogman out there right now. I think that was a Ford Focus. That was a hatchback Focus. Daughters are crazy. Daughters are great. I mean, I don't, my daughters will go to bat for me. Absolutely. Absolutely, Destiny. My kids are 18 and my little buddy's going to be 16 in November. California, what's up? Caden, what's up? Caden's cloaked. See the guy walking by? That is one of the Glens Fallsians. They're probably on crack right now. I swear to God. Jake won? Are you shitting me? God damn it. Fucking Nate, you let us down. We only had sons. Any daughters would have gone straight to the convent. My 15-year-old is. All right, so here's something crazy. My 15-year-old is homeschooled. She doesn't go and hang out with friends. She's literally sleeping in the living room right now on the couch because she won't go to bed until I go to bed. And it's just, she's amazing. She doesn't hang out with boys. She talks to boys on the phone, but doesn't hang out with them. No, California. If it was an if it was an MMA fight, dude, Jake Paul would be broken. Steve, yes, absolutely heard of that. 100%. She is daddy's girl. I'll wake up in the morning sometimes and she'll be in my bed. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dude? No, she's got her day bed is in my living room is broken up into two living rooms. There's a bookshelf that separates it's a big long living room. So there's a big bookshelf and there's a day bed right there. And she likes to sleep and she listens to YouTube. She's got a favorite YouTuber that she listens to go to bed with. No, Jake is not a joke. No, Jake knows how to fight. He knows how to box. You can't take that away from him. He knows how to box. I think being such an asshole at such a young age ruined who he could have been as a boxer. He's a good boxer. For 3 years of boxing, he's not bad. You can't take that away from him. But he's still an asshole. Ugh. Yes, she loves snakes. She's got 3 snakes. Oh, we're talking about Jake Paul, the fight. Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. All right, here we go. We got another one. So I typically do not believe in this kind of stuff, but I had a very strange encounter a while back. I told my coworkers about it, and they insisted that I had seen The Rake. I've been researching since, and I had no idea what it was. It looks very similar to what I saw, except it's a fictional creature from Creepypasta. Just learned about that, too. So I'm not sure what I saw. Anyway, must be a subscriber from here, huh? Anyway, I was driving home from work about a month or so ago, heading down this typically busy side street in Douglas County, Colorado, called Havina. It's close to the airport in the business district, surrounded by apartments. It was about 1 a.m, and there wasn't much traffic, just a Jeep in front of me. As I drove around the bend in the road where Dry Creek turns into Havana, I saw in my peripheral a figure to my right on the sidewalk standing between two small trees. The creature stood kind of behind them. At first glance, I figured it was just a tall, slender dog, like a white greyhound or a Great Dane, escaped and seemed to be barking at traffic. I was traveling at 45 when I passed it, but I noticed as I passed by that it appeared to have a humanoid shape with black eyes. It also had a bent over, hunched back, long, slender arms, and an unusually wide mouth, like it was screaming or something. I thought to myself, yo, what was that? So I slowed down quickly to look back, and in my mirror, I saw the creature turn around and run off towards the brick retaining wall on the other side. But as it ran off, I saw how tall and slender it was. It seemed very pale, almost gray, with an anorexic and bony appearance. It also moved strangely, where its hind leg joints were inverted and bent in the opposite direction from its front legs. At that point, I was seriously creeped out. The Jeep in front of me had slowed down, so I could only assume they saw it as well. We both continued driving as it was late slash and couldn't stop in the middle of a busy road. However, the situation really made my skin crawl. I checked my mirrors for the rest of the drive home. I debated if I should call the non emergency line and have an officer check it out. But I told myself they'd just think you were an idiot. Now, every night when I take that road, I look around to see if I spot it again. I really want to believe it was just a dog. However, I can't stop thinking about how strange and quickly it moved with its backwards knees and how long wide its mouth was. I haven't talked about this much except for family members and coworkers. I wonder what I saw. Update. I've had a few more strange occurrences and I'm not sure if they're related, but worth noting. So, it's been a little over a week since this happened. I decided to drive around the neighboring area on my way home at about 1 in the morning just to look around. However, I didn't see anything, just a bunch of empty parking lots, dark fields, and closed office buildings. I can't stop thinking about what I saw. I've been feeling uneasy, like I need validation due to self skepticism. I've also been feeling uncomfortable in and around my house lately. I also I almost feel like something is watching me. I know it sounds like I'm paranoid, but you know that natural feeling you get when you realize something is in the room, even though they are not talking or noisy. You can sense their presence. I don't live too far from the area where I saw this thing. However, as of late, my skin feels like it's crawling at night when I walk from my car to my house. I live in a three-floored home shared with my family. They sleep upstairs. I have a finished basement. I usually get home at around 1 or 2 in the morning, so by the time I get home, they're already asleep. The last few nights, while I've been home, I've been hearing noises from the kitchen and living room, which are right above my room, that sound like someone walking. I've looked up a few times to see if someone's up there, and no one is. The rooms are always empty. I keep telling myself it's just the house settling. I've asked my family if they're coming down to the kitchen or living room at night, and they all deny it. The creepiest occurrence I've had recently was in my basement room. Remember that feeling of presence in the room that I shared? I feel like eyes are on me in my room, and I've heard random sounds at my windows in the basement. I have a converted window well in my room that's 3 feet from the floor and has blinds. The well itself is pretty deep, about 5 feet and 4 feet wide, with an escape ladder and no cover. I've heard a loud thump twice a week, like something hit the ground or fallen. I occasionally hear tapping on the window, like something is tapping on the glass. This happened the other night, so I walked over and opened the blinds and didn't see anything. Anyway, last night was the final straw, and this is what pushed me to update. I got home at 1:30, grabbed my backpack out of the car. As I walked to the door of the house It was dark, of course, and my family had forgotten to leave the light on. I struggled to find my house key to unlock the door, with my water bottle, dinner, and my backpack in hand. As I was fumbling with my keys, I heard this very strange gargling growl hiss noise. Strongly enough, the best way I can describe it is the weird sound Enderman makes in Minecraft when you kill him. Yeah, it sounded kind of like that. Not intense, but almost metallic and echoing, like a wet growl through a pipe. Even stranger was that it sounded like it was just in front of me on my porch, even though nothing was there. I quickly unlocked the door and ran in, locking the door behind me and turning all the lights on. I also heard more tapping on my window that night, but didn't see anything. Fried spam is great. Fried spam and scrambled eggs. Dude, you fry bologna too? Oh, bologna. I can only eat bologna every once in a while, but a freaking hot bologna sandwich with melted cheese and mayonnaise is dank. Dank. Spam is good, dude. I love spam. Yes, George, I am blessed. I love my kids. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing and realizing that. I appreciate that. You know, that's funny because um, when I don't know if you guys saw the interview that I did with Sean Atwood. And I don't know if you guys know who Sean Atwood is, but he and I became friends actually, and he's a really, really nice guy. Um, but I did an interview. I had him on my channel, and I was on his channel twice, and he was talking about how when he was in jail in Arizona, that's what it was. It was jail food. No, Mr. Rollins, I've never been in jail. I have a driving infraction on my record. He called it sweaty green meat is what Sean Atwood calls it. Yeah, Hawaii has like A1 in mac and cheese. My daughter does A1 in her mashed potatoes. She treats it like it's gravy. That's driving me nuts. She treats it like it's gravy. Hawaii, like spam is like filet mignon for people in Hawaii, I guess. No, I know, Mr. Rollins. He called it sweaty green meat. Sean Atwood's really nice guy. If you guys don't know who Sean Atwood is, he's got a YouTube channel. Um, he does some paranormal stuff. He does a lot of conspiracy, but he has his channel is basically prison stuff because he went to prison when he was younger. And but he does like he has people on like I was on on his show talking about the animal attacks. He had people on talking about the Kennedy assassination, and all that sometimes. Jane, I got to get in touch with you very soon. I'm sorry. Kangaroo steak. Ooh, dang. How does kangaroo taste compared to cow? Andy, Jane has a Dogman outside of her house in Connecticut. I've had kangaroo jerky. Why is Dogman here? Um, here, I'm just going to answer, and I'm not being rude, little orphan Andy. Why are we here? Because like I've heard they walk hand in hand with the with humans across the ice bridge and stuff. So and actually I smoked cigarettes and I quit when I smoked the vape. I feel better now smoking the vape than I ever did smoking cigarettes. Joe and her dog, man. She's got it on a leash. She kind of spanks it every once in a while. Steve, you know, I know that show that you're talking about, and I like it. I mean, the Juul, I was smoking a pack and a half a day, and I got the Juul and I stopped. And ever since then, I've been decent, you know. I'm not saying do it, but to me, it helped me, Liz. What was I gonna say? There was something that I read. Things. Hello, Jeff. My name is Jenny. I live in Australia. Do you know if they have Dogman aware? Absolutely, there are Dogmen in Australia, 100%. Oh, yeah. Liz, if you smoke cigarettes and you want to stop, buy a Juul. The tobacco one is decent, and if you don't like it, throw it away. But to me, it helped. It really. I smoked cigarettes from the time I was 13 till I was 41, and I'm 47 now. So, and I have not had an inkling to, you know. Charlie, actually, that's not true. I've already looked into it, NA. I've already looked into it. There is no proven statistic that it is worse than. But we're not here to talk about vaping. And this is my only crutch. So I don't have a crutch. I vape. That's it. I had mirrors on my motorcycle. I was not aware a cop was following me. I am a quitter. Jenny listened to Bick Bundes episode. Charlie's camping right now. Dang. Charlie's camping, listening to a Dogman live stream. Good for you, brother. I bet you Dogman can dance. I bet you it does like a little MJ twist. Oh, okay. I'm doing better, Bear. I'm doing better. Um, I depression wise, I'm feeling better. I literally was depressed all day, and then I did this, and I got in a really good mood. So this is what helps me. You guys are what makes, like, when I say at the end of every video, when I say, um, you know, you guys are what makes this channel special. I don't just say that because I need something to say, I freaking mean it, you know. Savage Lunatic is in the house. Um, you guys are what makes my day, you know. Me and NA having that little bickering about the vape and cigarette thing. I'm not mad at them. It's fun. But you guys, like, I don't have friends on the outside world. I'm constantly in here. I'm or up in where Mezek, and you guys are my family. So you guys are what makes my besides my kids, you guys make my life special. Jeff, what is the history on feral humans? Um, Honestly, DL, I don't know. I think possibly they could be throwbacks, like some kind of throwback or some sort of forgotten human. I Your guess is just as good as mine, my friend. Yeah, Caden, a throwback. Yeah, like just an offshoot of Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, Denisovian, whatever. I'm glad, Inquisitive. I'm glad. Andy, I'm right there with you, brother. Jim, how are you? Oh, look at John. John getting a little lippy. Can we all stop believing in the lies that Jeff say? Can you speak English there, John? Do you guys see this John guy here? Can we all stop believing the lies Jeff say? John, just because you don't believe in Dogman doesn't mean no one else does. All right, there, sweetie. And not you, John W. There's another John that I'm talking about. Ooh, Andy Davis coming to the defense. Later, John. Hey, Pops, how are you? Why do awful people have my name? John, I don't know. I've met a couple of Jeff assholes too. Don't worry about it, brother. You're good to go. Nick Hendricks, how are you? Oh, dude, check this out. This is crazy. Um, I think it was either Joe or Libra Poet asked me if I'm a celebrity in my town, and I'm not. But the other day, I'm at a store, right? And I'm going into the store. I hold the door for this guy, and he's got this huge beard, big guy. I hold the door for him. I don't, I'm just being polite. And I walk in and I'm paying for whatever I got. And I'm not turned around. I'm just standing at the counter. And I'm like, thank you very much, da 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 da. And before I turn around, the guy goes, Jeff Nadolny? And I turn and I'm like, yeah. And I didn't recognize him, I'm like, oh, at my town, and he goes, I listen to your channel all the time, man. And I'm like, what? It was crazy. William, yes, I've heard of Dogman with Blue Eyes before. What the hell did I stumble into? Jeff, we need some moderators asking. No, I don't want moderators, because if someone's going to get blocked, I'm going to do it. I just don't want to, have people people doing my work for me. You know what I mean? That was T Neil. That's right. That's right. Truth Quest. Thank you. But it was so weird. Like, it was just like, I'm like, and he's like, I love your show. He's like, I graduated in 86. 86. And he kept saying 86. And I'm like, 94. And he goes, I thought you were older because the gray hair. I'm like, my kids. DL, have a great night. Thank you for joining us. He was also into hookers, but that's a whole other topic. Jennifer. I miss being a nurse, damn. Lyme killing me. Yeah, Elsa, you got Lyme disease? Jesus, I'm so sorry for you. I think the government had something to do with that whole spread that quick. Bart, yes, I agree with what Bart just said. Yep. It's official. My daughter, Belly, my little buddy, she said that I'm officially a YouTuber now because I have 50,000 subs. And I was like, what? Good, Elsa. I'm glad. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. That's a terrible freaking thing to go through. Anyone think Dogman and Bigfoot get smegma? Holy shit. Oh my God. Maybe Terry Pete. Maybe. Rochelle, I agree. 77 hours this week. Wow. That's almost like me, Suji. Thanks there, Slicey Slicer. I appreciate that. I got these because my other glasses, if I do like live streams and talk on camera, it dulls the shine. Thank you. Forgive me, Jesus. I think Jesus forgives you, Andy Davis. Damn, Bart, making 80,000 a year. I wish I was. Holy shit. That's a nice paycheck right there, brother. And saying got a restraining order against me. Joe's always got something good to say. Janet, I have gotten quite a few experiences out of New Zealand. Yes, I have. Plum Island, absolutely. My day has been good, Slicey Slicer. How about yours? I'm glad you're here with us. Dean, what's up? I didn't see you there, Dean Ferguson. How are you? Are Dogmen demonic? Quite possibly, William, but quite possibly not. It's up. It's up for debate. Um, it's hard to some people think they are, some don't. The reason I retired at 46, my wife, the attorney, it makes 5 times. Ha ha! Nice, alligator. Silver Fox, I didn't say hi to you either. I'm so sorry. I saw that, Steve. I saw that. I did see that. I bet you we taste better scared, little orphan Andy. We probably do. Plum Island is. Did you guys remember that freaking weird creature that washed ashore from Plum Island? Like off the coast of off the coast of Long Island or whatever. This like weird looking freak creature. Probably like 8 or 10 years ago. I miss Thunderbolt. Where the hell's Thunderbolt? Yeah, the ugly demon thing. The Montauk monster. Absolutely, brother. Plum Island is a government installation, an island off the coast of New York, off the coast of Long Island. Yeah, you don't want to swim in the water off of the coast of New York City. You'll get like hepatitis and shit. Your asshole will fall off. Preventing me from discussing what I did for the Klondike bar. Jesus Christ. I heard that was true of the coast of Connecticut too, because the water kind of runs that way, so it'll all pop right out. I remember Ventura tried going out to Plum Island. Yeah, absolutely. Good old Jesse the Body Ventura. RH, I don't think they're doing anything at the facility in Montauk anymore. It's pretty much closed down. And if they are, it's underground where people can't see them. I do believe the government got smart and said, let's just do anything underground. Who would win in a 100-yard dash between Bigfoot, Dogman, and Werewolf? Werewolf, 100%. John just wants to. The Swamp Donkey song. Oh my God, the greatest song in the world. I'm a swamp donkey. Was it Brad's Angel that said Dogman used to protect humanity from worse cryptids? No, Drew Blue. But I've heard that statement before. Jennifer, yes, that is true. Desi X1. I did 2 uploads about the Julian Sands thing, actually. And in that area, there was a small pack of dogmen seen running months after his death. Anastasia, how are you? Ginger Beard, what's going on? Jeff, do you also believe in the psychic and physical aspect of Dogman? Absolutely, Pat. Absolutely. GSXR. Absolutely, 100%. I think there's more. Like, I if you think about all the encounters that we've heard, like, you've got the physical aspect, you've got the demonic aspect part, then there's like something completely strange like portal. So yeah, there's a lot. And someone said it in here. The more we research, the crazier it gets. Hey, Spill and Tea, how are you? Charlie, yeah, you hear paper in my hand because I just did a few encounters. I did like 4 of them so far. Shelby, I'm glad you're here with us. You got a poll on my channel? I hope you answered well. I didn't do it. YouTube does it. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard of the documentary. Yep. All right, here we go. I live in North Carolina. It's not a small city by any means, but it's a highway town at its core. I've lived here for 10 plus years. On the night in question, I was with my ex, which I will refer to her as C. This was around the time when COVID-19 restrictions had yet to be fully lifted. So C invited me for a walk. She was finished up on her online courses for the semester, one being physical activity. So we'd often walk around her neighborhood and reach her daily amount of steps. Anyway, we headed out on our walk. It was around 7 or 8. So on our way out, the sun is already setting. We stick to the street as it isn't a sidewalk and we're just walking through the neighborhood. I've been down this area hundreds of times. I've drove there nearly every day with C during the pandemic. It's just your average single story cookie cutter everyday house, identical looking neighborhood. On our way back to her house, it's dusk, weird time of day, especially in the evening. It was almost gray looking atmosphere, but still illuminated enough to see the streets. C is on a phone call for the entirety of the walk back, so I'm just taking in the surroundings and waiting for the walk to be finished. That's when I see it, whatever it was. About 3 houses down, mid jump, arms and legs fully outstretched, leaping across the street. It lands on the other side in an instant, with barely enough time to register that anything had even happened at the time. At the time, it felt like a hallucination, something fiction that my brain had just conjured up out of boredom or lack of visual content. It happened so quickly. But this flash frame is burned into my memory now and is something that I'll probably never forget. It was huge and 100% silent. I only caught sight of it flying across the street and landing underneath a car. It was fully outstretched and took up almost the entirety of the street. Even with its hands on the ground, its rear legs were still stretched from the jump, extending far beyond the halfway point of the 2-lane road. I can only guess the size of this thing was from 10 to 20 feet in length. It looked extremely thin, beyond anorexic, but startlingly human from the waist up. 100% dark gray. Its arms seemed to be car length with large claws. Its legs were bowed in a way that reminded me of a dog. The only feature I could make out that I couldn't make out was its face. It seemed completely black, but scarily human. Again, at the time, I had no idea if what I saw was some sort of weird animal or just a hallucination. Even so, I kept my eyes glued to where I had just seen this hallucination land. As I got closer and closer to the car, I almost wanted to freak out. C is still on the phone though, so I decided to keep quiet and inspect the car for myself as we walked. I turned my head as we slowly passed the vehicle. At this point, I convinced myself that I had not seen anything at all, but I just couldn't bring myself to peer and look under the car. As we walked away, I turned back a few times, really trying to process if I just lost my mind or not. By the time we get home, I feel embarrassed. Did I just have a stare down with a car for absolutely no reason? By the time we walk inside, C is off her phone. We are kind of bummed that our walk was void of conversation, so we just catch up and converse for the next half hour. The hallucination had almost completely left my mind at this point. We had just ended up going about our business. Honestly, I was just happy spending time with my partner. I was really ready to accept that what happened earlier was nothing but my imagination. I had forgotten about the experience almost entirely until C asked me something out of nowhere. Did you see that thing jump across the street earlier? Shelby, thank you. I'm glad that you subscribed to the channel. Grew up around LBL, live in Kentucky. What's up, IE Native? How are you? Yeah, that was like it was long. And the way that person described it was almost the way the other guy described that same thing, that the legs were kind of bent backwards like a dog man, but yet it was hairless and not a dog or a dog man. Really freaking crazy. What's up, Rob Salazar? How are you? Oh. John, all credibility. I was mauled to death. Jeff lost all credibility. I was mauled nearly to death, and I'm trying to tell the truth here. I didn't read your thing, so what are you saying? How did I lose credibility when I didn't say anything? Kevin, you didn't miss anything, brother. I'm glad you had a good night fishing, bro. By bringing in Victor and Rascal, I'm not stopping anybody from sharing their experience. And actually, the guy that had Rascal is in the chat right here. That's not my credibility. I mean, if I lost credibility, I mean, why are you here? William, yes, absolutely. And like I said, the only thing that I back 100% is my research, my experience. What people are sharing, I can't control. But I'm not going to tell somebody that they can't share on the channel. John W. John, I'm not going to argue with you. If you got something to say, email me. I'm not going to take up the live stream to listen to you whine. Okay? Sorry about that. But, I just stated clearly, here, I'll fucking slow it down for you. I am not going to stop people from sharing what they want to share. The only thing I didn't get your email though, bud. If I did, I would have had you on 100%, brother. Okay? I'd love to talk to you, but you don't have to come on the live stream and start downing me, especially when I say the only thing I back 100% valid is the research I do into attacks and my own encounter. I'm not gonna argue with you anymore. It's worthless. I just stated, like, it's like talking to a fucking wall. No, actually, John, I put 100% compelling. Read English. It's fucking easy, dude. Don't be a bitch. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to say that. Thank you, Spilling Tea. Damn. Like, okay, I have a platform. You guys are part of it. I'm never going to tell somebody that they can't come on and share their experience. I wasn't there. And the only thing I know 100% that happened was me and the research that I do on attacks. So, other than that, I think so, Dean Ferguson. I think so. But he said he emailed me, but I didn't get it. If I did, I would have had him on. I think John needs to get laid. Bottom line, John needs to get laid. Thank you, Shelby. I got a new webcam anyway. I didn't use it yet. It's still hooked up. I didn't want to mess with it tonight. And this week I'm going to go and put the trail cams up and see how they work out. But I just wanted to make sure that that I know exactly how they work and how I'm doing it. James Estrada, crusty socks and old Playboys from 1969 that he stole from his dad's dresser drawer. Can we get him a flashlight? Oh, shit. Spilling tea. I definitely will be careful. I knew something. Oh, you guys are awesome. I love you all. You guys really are awesome. That shirtless pic was very intimidating. And that mullet, the mullet was what got me. Holy shit. He looked like that weird dude that's on YouTube that like interviews people. He did look huge in that picture. And Andy Davis, I know you got my back, bro. I know you got my back. A carny. Cobra Kai. Yeah, Shelby, I would never go. The LBL is scary because of the history. but all woods, these creatures are everywhere, you know. That's why I say at the end of every video, they're out there, they're real, they're in all of the woods. And I think that, you know, going in the dark in the woods at night is dangerous. You're really calling for trouble at that point. Randall Kennedy. I miss Mountain Monsters. Mountain Monsters was funny as hell, man. I love that show. Caesar, haha, save that drama for your mama, baby. Come on. Shit. Just kidding. My daughter Belle and I used to watch Mountain Monsters all the time. Suji, I agree with you 100%. People, once in a while, somebody just needs a throat punch. NE Arkansas, trash trucks and lottery. I have a good friend of mine, and Paul Pedersen Jr. He wrote a book about the Pine Barrens. He's lived there all his life, and I've never heard that, but I will look into it, and I'll have Paul back on sometime to see if we can get more into that. All right, that's a very good, interesting thing. I'll have to ask him about that. Jeffers. That's funny. Yeah, I see 223. Trapper. What was the big guy? Remember the big guy? Was his name Jeff? Yeah, Silver Fox, yes. I have 50,000 friends. That's the way I look at my life. I have 50,000 friends. The Ozark Howler is no joke. Buck, yeah. Kind of a little bit, Nicola. I see 233 likes. I put him in a timeout. Don't worry about it. I got him. I don't know why he got so butthurt. He probably needed a hug, dude, and I yelled at him. I bet he would have felt better if I gave him a hug. All right. So we're about 2 hours and something into this. I'm going to end this with a very good encounter. I know we're almost at 100,000 subs. I only need 49,000 more. It took me 5 years to get to 50,000. I'm not in it for the subs, though, you know. I'm in it because I love doing what we do. He had a brain aneurysm, spilling tea. Nikola Tesla told us that. Yeah, it was cool, Shelby. Definitely. All right, here we go. I'm a rancher in Oklahoma. Feral hogs are a problem in this area. I live north of Red River on the Oklahoma side, close to West Cache Creek. One night, a friend called me to go pig hunting with them on one of my friend's fields that was getting destroyed by the hogs. Here in Oklahoma, it's legal to hunt hog and coyote with thermal scopes. Feral hog are mainly active at night. We rode by the river, then walked possibly 150 yards to set up behind a fallen log. We sat and waited. It was a beautiful, calm evening. The moonlight made it very visible without the thermal. After maybe 30 minutes, we heard screaming. It was very loud. We looked at each other, thinking that it possibly could be a cougar, but couldn't tell exactly where it was coming from. When we heard the pig squeal at our right, in my head, I'm thinking, big cat caught a pig. I looked through my thermal and froze. An 8 to 10 foot creature had this pig in its hands, and it was not a small hog, maybe 250 pounds, squealing and fighting. The strength and size of this thing, it was amazing. It seemed to have a long beard or dog like snout, and it was hairy, but in my thermal, the images are white, so as far as color, I'm not sure. As I'm watching this thing, it literally ripped this pig in half with its bare hands like a sheet of paper and threw it on the ground. It started walking towards us. I nearly crapped myself. I couldn't pull the trigger in my mind. I was telling my hand to pull the trigger, but physically couldn't. Then, all of a sudden, a massive log, 30 feet long, 2 to 3 feet round, flew over top of us. I jumped up and ran, my buddy right behind me. We got on my ATV, I started it and fled. We're traveling about 40 miles an hour. This thing was easily keeping up with us. We busted through the gate to the pasture. I didn't even have a thought of getting out and opening it. We hit the ditch, went airborne, and started doing a front roll, thinking this is gonna hurt. Next thing I remember, we're sitting still, not moving, and not hurt. We were sitting next to my pickup trailer. What the hell? We loaded up, went to his house in silence, not a word. We pulled up to his house, went inside. His wife, what's wrong? His wife asked, what's wrong with you guys? You look like you've seen a ghost. Where are your guns? I said, I think that it kept our guns. I never even realized our guns were left lying by the stump, and I didn't care. I was glad to be out of there. I live about 40 miles from him. Now, the creepiest part. When I parked the truck and walked to my front door, I noticed something in my yard, maybe 20 yards from the front door, is that rifle I had left down by the river. Holy crap, this creature knows where I live? It was 40 miles away. Nothing has happened since, and I don't go out at dark unless I absolutely have to. I don't plan on going back to the river either. But I do feel like something unnatural saved us that night. We'll have to have a Jeff Con soon. Kevin, more importantly, we lost Claudia Ackley too. Linda Godfrey, Claudia Ackley, Scott Carpenter. I can keep going. There's multiple more. I am, Randall. I am. Thank you. Nick, dang, brother, I'm so sorry for your loss. Holy crap. I could never imagine going through a loss. So my heart goes out to you, my friend. Oh, John's back. He's surviving now. He came back as surviving. Yeah, Nick, my heart goes out to you, brother. All right, guys. I had a blast. We're about 2.5 hours in. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. And Buddy's sleeping on the bed. Buddy's just crashed out, like passed out hard. He doesn't sleep during the rainstorm, so he couldn't sleep very good. I'll put that picture in the I'll put the picture in the community post so you guys can see it too, okay? Andy Davis, have a good night. Jane, have a good night. RH, Jim, Dogman, UK Man, Dale, Charlie Knight, Shelby, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you next Saturday night at midnight. Maybe NA, maybe that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Haha. Giant Slayer, have a good night. RC, Nikolai, Nikolai, double-edged sword. God bless you. Guys, I had a blast. Thank you. And I'll see you next Saturday. But videos all week.